Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Segal in Los Angeles, California, and I hope you're having a great end of November here as we head into the end of the year, November the 29th, heading into the holiday season. And I am a writer, a web developer, and a activist working in my community to help get out the word for Bernie Sanders, for our social justice revolution, our civic revival in America to build a more just, fair, compassionate, loving, healthy, sustainable country that lives and works in peace and prosperity and harmony with other nations and on our planet. So we could leave a green, clean, beautiful, prosperous, wonderful planet and peaceful world to our children and their children. And so, from time to time, I share my conversations I have around town with people about our current state of affairs in our economy, living together in our community, and with what we're trying to do with the Bernie Sanders People's Movement for Justice and an America that works well for everyone instead of just the few at the top who have figured out a way to rig the system because for some reason they believe that enough is not enough, that they could never have enough. They always need a little bit more. Even if they make $1 million a year or $1 million a month or $1 million a day, they want more and more. And that might mean slashing jobs, buying out competitors, buying politicians, writing their own laws, influencing the electoral system with big money and negative campaigns, and or drilling fossil fuels at such a frenzy pace where they make $40 billion in a year, like Exxon, and put out misinformation to make us all think that everything's fine. Don't worry about the drought and the storms and all of that. It's all okay. Just keep driving your vehicles and trucks and passing by the fumes out of the smokestacks and dying in the coal mines, and everything will be fine because we all need fuel, fossil fuels, and just ignore the sun shining, the warmth on your shoulder that tells you there's enough sunshine and energy to fuel the entire planet, coming down in every hour of every day. And wind, because, well, they can't actually find a way to monopolize and patent and own the sun and the wind yet. So, anyway, what we want to do is to have a country where everybody participates, shares our concerns, our needs, our priorities by voting, sometimes by protesting if our elected officials don't do what they've said they're going to do and don't listen to our priorities like public education, public health, the things that matter, strong communities, safe communities, it's spending time investing in our schools and roads and bridges and making healthcare affordable, if not freely available and free to everyone, like through a Medicare for All program, making college affordable for everyone. I was listening to this great author, Tomas Piketty, who wrote this huge book. It's like 800 pages. So I just listened to his lectures. I don't have time to read an 800-page book these days. And basically, the bottom line of what he's saying is America has the greatest income inequality in the world right now. That's not good. It doesn't mean that everyone deserves the same outcomes as far as income equality. It means we need to have more fairness of access of opportunity, equal access to opportunities. We've all got to be able to make progress in our lives by working harder or smarter or working better together, being more innovative. And we're just not doing that anymore because of several factors he points out, the greatest of which is that we don't have a equal access to higher education in America like they do in other advanced Western developed nations of the world, where they have less income inequality because more people can go to college without having to be from rich families or having to go into massive amounts of debt like we do here in America. In other places around the world, you can go to college without it costing you any money. In some places, they pay you a stipend because they understand that a well-educated population is good for the country and it's good for business. You know, if Forbes posted a report, a list, and of the most business-friendly countries in the world, 8 of the 10 of the most business-friendly countries in the world are democratic socialist countries, right? Scandinavian countries, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, France, Germany, booming economies because they let workers earn a living. It's amazing if people have enough money where they're not dying from stress, literally dropping dead from stress because they can't get a good job because they have to work 2 jobs to pay the bills and they have no time to enjoy life and vacation with their family and loved ones. Then they can't spend that money in their communities. And when we have money that we could work and get a raise every quarter, and and not a quarter raise, and we could then go out and take our family to dinner or movie or buy that new bedroom set that you and your wife are looking at, and or the new couch or a TV that you'd like to add to your home, and you have money to do those things, or go on a vacation and see people and how they live and meet new people around the country or the state even, or the world, and see how people live in this beautiful earth of ours. If you have money, you can spend it here, then guess what? It creates a demand. 70% of the American economy is fueled by consumer spending. And if we don't have money, then there's no consumer spending and there's no demand. People then have to they want to fire workers because to most companies, their number one goal is higher and higher profits. They call it growth, more and more growth. And to do that, they need to keep wages down and fire workers and ask workers to do more and work longer for less money. But if we don't have the money, we can't spend it and we can't create demand, which means when there's more demand, they have to hire more workers. And that means that, wages start going up because they can't just fire people and make their own demands. Workers are more in demand, and, supply and demand, the cost of labor goes up, and what that means is that people then spend more money. That creates more need for more demand for more jobs, and the economy grows, and the circle grows, and the middle class grows. And that's what we had in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, all the way up until about 1980 when I graduated high school. Our wages went up every year. When I got out of high school, I was working in a print shop as a graphic artist, a production artist. I was making $10 an hour. That was good money then. It was pretty good money. I had taught myself a skill, how to be a production artist, and then I made it, not a huge amount of money, but I was making okay money. I could afford to get my own little modest apartment in Van Nuys, and my life was getting slowly and gradually better. Well, today there are people working who aren't even making $10 an hour, and that's 30 years later. I was just telling the repairman who came to fix my refrigerator today about how I was making more money than a lot of people in my neighborhood are making now. And these are even people who are going to college or have gotten out of college and are working at Jamba Juice and Starbucks. And it's just not right. But people, would be out in the streets protesting this if it wasn't for the fact that it took 30 years for this flat wage thing to happen. You can't really notice that your wages aren't going up if it takes 30 years. It's really slow. You don't notice. But if you're my age, 50, 60, 70 years old or older, things used to be different. If you're a young person like this refrigerator repair person, Gary, he doesn't know that things used to be really different. So um, what we need to do is to let everyone know that things could be better, that wages need to go up, not just for the minimum wage to a living wage. Like I told Gary, the refrigerator repairman, everyone that Bernie Sanders and I and many of us believe everyone who works for a living should be able to live and afford a home, an apartment, and to go to school, to pay for health care. And so that's what we're working for, is to fight for a more fair and just America. We are actually, all of us, our wages should be about twice what they are now. Imagine your life. Take a moment and think about what your life would be like if your wages were twice what they are now. Yeah, you would have time to live your life, to read a book, to go on vacation, to spend time with your spouse, your loved ones, to really enjoy life. We don't live to work. We should work so that we can have a life, and so everything's kind of upside down, but we can fix it if we just work together. If we just get out and vote for people who understand that human beings have value, and our value is more than just the profits we create. We deserve human dignity and respect, good health, time to spend with our families. People who have children deserve time off from work, paid maternity leave, and parental leave to spend time with their families. Again, this is something that Bernie Sanders has put forth as legislation and part of his presidential campaign, because every other advanced country in the world provides at least a month or 2 or 3 for and sometimes more for new parents to bond with their children, because family values there isn't just a slogan, it's reality. They value families and community. And so this is the America we want to and we need to work together for. I just got back. I talk to people wherever I go in my life. I call it inline activism, a play on online activism. And I was standing in line at the bank today, and I noticed that they have these big machines in front of the teller's windows. They had closed down 3 of the 5 teller windows, and they have these huge machines, metal computer robots, blocking them off. And there's a big old line that I'm standing in with people waiting for these 2 tellers. And there was a young man, he's like 19 years old, in the lobby there, standing there. And I said, "So are you guarding the robot tellers there?" Or he said, "Well, I'm helping people if they want to use them because I like to be free. I said, "You like to be free?" And he said, "Yeah, I like to be on this side of the glass, be able to walk around and free with people." I said, "Well, yeah, we all like to be free. We all want to be free. And we all want to be able to have a job too, and to talk to live human beings like you when we go into business places." And so the man standing in line in front of me, this Asian American man, said, "That's what's wrong with Americans today, is they don't know how to run a business like we Asian people do. And we're going to be running all of the businesses in America in the not too distant future. Donald Trump knows this, that we know how to run businesses. And, some people are just, not really hard workers. And we have to be careful who comes into this country, just like Donald Trump says, because some people are just animals. They're just not like regular human beings." And I said, I think I came from a family of immigrants, and obviously you have, and many of us have, and we're all human beings. And and it's really not about people not working hard. It's about some people just being really too greedy. And so this man said, "Well, I'm like James T. Kirk of Star Trek," and there he kind of got me going because I'm a huge Trekkie. And he said, "I'm like James T. Kirk, where he said about the Klingons, you just can't trust them. You can't trust them." And I said, and he said it was in the movie Undiscovered Country, and I said, "Well, actually, how did that movie end?" I said he ended up saving the Klingons, right? And that started the Federation, right? And he actually worked with them, and the whole concept of the Federation was getting rid of money and people just working together for the greater good to to pursue the arts and sciences and peaceful exploration of space and other races. I think that was great. That Gene Roddenberry was a real visionary, don't you? And he slowly turned around in line and walked up to the teller. But I think it's important sometimes, even if we don't agree, to talk with each other in a respectful way, and come from our heart, and put out our the values that we want to see in life of fairness and justice and brotherhood and sisterhood, and ask people to step forward and vote in our own best interests for each other, for working families. So, like, I hope that this message finds you all healthy and happy, and if you're struggling, as many of us are, that you find help and brotherhood and sisterhood and camaraderie around you, people in your family and community to support you in every way you need help. And because we're here for and with each other, we're all connected and we're all one on this beautiful earth. I hope that you look into Bernie Sanders at berniesanders.com, or my site, Solutions for Us, solutionsfor.us.com, where I have a lot of great information about Bernie Sanders. And tell everyone you know not to give up on each other, not to give up on peace and justice and equality, not to give up on America. This is a great country. This is full of beautiful people, and there are lots of great countries filled with other beautiful people. We can work together. We can make things better. We just need to reach out to each other in peace and respect. Reach out to each other and ask people to work and vote for our own interests together, not for the billionaire class, not for the elite establishments, but for the people, the working people that make up our communities, our schools, and that's what we need to do, in my view. So have a great coming holidays, and I hope you feel the burning yearning for justice in our country for everybody, peace and equality. Be well. My name is Joseph Segal. Thank you.